The way I led my life, I should be dead. My name's Peter Griffith. I'm from a little town called Ellesmere Port, just outside Liverpool. I'm the founder and I'm the centre manager of Better Way Recovery. So I'm in recovery from addiction myself, and I know the pain of living in addiction, and I know I've seen the pain of my family living in addiction. Do you know what I mean? And how my family had to live their life in stress and worry, consumed with me. You know, all that their life was led worrying about me, where I was, what I was doing. Am I alive? So everyone who comes into recovery has lived a life of, you know, misery, loneliness, fear, isolation, dread, all that stuff. So, which is difficult to get through. But when you do come through it and you come out the other side and you do get found recovery, you can use all that experience to help others. Because the worst thing you feel like when you're in addiction, you think you're the only one. You think that you're different to everyone else and you can't get recovery. Well, you know, that is a lie, you know, that we tell ourselves, and it keeps us ill, you know, and it kills people. And I tried to commit suicide in 2016. I didn't tell anyone who was doing it, and the police saved my life on Cannock Chase. And from that, I went into a mental health institution for over 2 months. St George's in Stafford, and came out of there. I was diagnosed with PTSD. Came out of there and still couldn't stop using drugs. And November the 30th, they came to me and said, "We've referred you to a treatment centre." And from that day, I stayed clean. I withdrew off alcohol badly. I shouldn't, you know, I wouldn't suggest it to anyone what I'd done, but I'd had enough. And I stopped using drugs. I went to see the doctor to see what medication I was supposed to be taking, because I didn't know. I didn't know how I was supposed to be taking it and when. And I landed in the treatment centre at the start of 2017. I was in there for 4 months. Done a lot of work on myself, a lot of work on my past, on my trauma, on my guilt and my shame for what I put my family through. And then came out of the treatment centre and I started going to Narcotics Anonymous meetings, which I still do to this day. And that's where I go for my recovery. It's a 12-step programme. And try and help others. That's what I try and do for my recovery. It's a big part of the 12-step programme, carrying the message to other people just like me, who were in the same place as I was, and, you know, and trying to help them through that. You know, I do it a day at a time as well still. You know, I'm still an addict in recovery, trying to get another day clean. I always take it back to that. I'm not fixed, I never will be. The job will never be done. I continue, and yeah, I'm trying to help others along the way. So here, we're a community to help people in recovery or to get into recovery. And right now our process is everyone's welcome. We've got a lad that comes here who's 17 years clean, paranoid schizophrenic. He hadn't left his house for 17 years. That's how he recovered. And since he's been coming here, he was 50 yesterday, and since he's been coming here, he's made new friends. He's reduced his medication because he's finding being around people like him and us helps him more than any medication's ever helped him. Now, I'm not saying that that's for everyone, but that, for us, has blown the whole place away. And now he comes here on the bus, I give him a lift home every day. And he comes in every day. He hasn't been out of his house for 17 years. So we will help anyone, because just because you're clean doesn't mean you have to go, it doesn't stop you going through life experiences like breakups, grief, losing family members, losing jobs, you know, losing homes. I know people in recovery have lost their houses and lost their jobs and split up with their family, and they're big triggers for people using drugs.
My name's Paul Greenhalgh. I'm an addict and I suffer with paranoid schizophrenia. I'll be briefly honest with you, you know what I mean? When I was 13, two boys tried to rape me when I was 13, and I was playing truant. And that was the beginning of my mental health deteriorating then. And I dropped out of school and started drinking heavily. And I started getting in gangs, and I got stabbed when I was 18. And I started doing weights then, and boxing to get myself fit and that. And I stayed fit until I didn't get into drugs until I was about 24, 25, so I was just doing sport. And I started off on ecstasy, speed and alcohol. I reached out to get help. You know, I was saying I was hearing voices and my mental health was deteriorating. and I didn't really get any help from the services, so I just didn't care then, you know what I mean? I was just running around wild, you know, in gangs, just dealing drugs and stuff, you know. And yeah, I was dealing a lot of cocaine and ecstasy and stuff, you know. I got sectioned, I got put into a mental institution in 2004, and it was a really good one, you know what I mean? And they got me on the right medication, and this was where the self-isolation came. I went to a halfway house, and then I got my flat, so it was like a total of 17 years where I just didn't go out. So all I'd do is just go to the gym. So that was my way of coming off drugs, was to self-isolate for so long. Sure, I didn't have the temptation. Just with my own thoughts, I mean, my mental health was really bad, you know, because I was self-isolating. Just, you know, punishing myself, you know, for 17 years. I've had a support worker, I had it for 10 years, and I've had to have a new one. So she introduced me to a new support worker. She said there's a place called Better Ways, and there's a man there called Peter. And it just stuck on my mind. She planted the seed. She said, I've got a feeling he'll be able to help you, but you'll be able to help him. And that really resonated, you know what I mean? It really meant something. And Pete came out to see me while I was at my flat, and I was in a bad way. I came about a month ago, and my anxiety levels are really good, and my social skills I'm picking up, you know what I mean? And I'm learning a lot from Pete, and that's how I got into Better Ways, you know. It's a good place. It's needed it for about 20 years, Lichfield, you know. It's needed somewhere like this. I've found coming here has helped my mental health, and it's helped me my addiction side as well. I'm more social, you know what I mean? For the first time, I'm going home now and I'm bored when I get home, you know, because I want to be out, I want to be socialising, I want to have a laugh. You know, I want to go out, you know what I mean? I'm ready to enjoy the summer, you know, I'm ready to get back in a relationship. I've not been in a relationship for 20 years. I've learned to trust people. And what I've learned from Peter is he just showers people with love. And I'm not used to that, you know what I mean? It's just the love of the place, you know what I mean? Everybody's just so honest, you know what I mean, and trusting. And that's what I take away from this place, you know what I mean? It's just showing people, not being scared to show people love, you know what I mean, and care. You know, it's nice to see it, because I haven't seen it for a long, long time.
So I've seen the joys, and I know if I can find recovery, I know anyone can. I know there's another way to live, and I want to try and carry that message to as many people as possible.